Hey everybody, Sean here again. Today I'm going to cover packing cubes as well as how to actually roll up some of your clothing to fit well into the packing cubes. I have a handful of items here I'm going to demonstrate with. As far as packing cubes go, I have a few different versions here from Sea to Summit, Eagle Creek, REI. They all have their own benefits and differences that you may or may not enjoy. All of them do offer up carrying handles on them, which are nice. You can just kind of grab a bag and go. Start with the Eagle Creek here. They do offer up some see-through capability, which is nice to some extent. Being able to directly see what's in there is cool. However, they don't really offer any kind of compression or anything, so they are a little bit limited to what you see is what you get. That's fine. It's nice just for the separation and organization piece. They work. The Sea to Summit one here is just purely a toiletry bag. It doesn't really offer any kind of compression or anything either. It does have some little pockets and things in it, as well as actually there's a little hook in here to pull out and hang from a doorknob or your shower curtain, whatever. Has some varying pockets in there, which is great. It also has a little travel mirror as well. The ones that I really enjoy the most are these REI ones. They offer up a piece of paper that can actually slide in here that specifies like what you have packed in these. I don't particularly use that feature because what you pack for each trip is different. But what I really enjoy most about these is that they are entirely expandable. And so you can actually load this thing up with clothing and then afterwards zip down the top of it here. And then you can actually compress up the bottom end portion here, which you will have to put some body weight and things into. I mean, you need to be realistic. You don't want this thing to blow up on you. But you can actually compress this thing down pretty substantially and make it fit into your bag. I do have a pretty wide assortment here of varying ones, which I specifically have it that way. That way I can work with what's needed for the particular trip, whether it's winter, summer, whether you're going for a really long trip that happens to require coats, jackets, rain gear in conjunction with pants and shorts, whatever it may be. So I do feel that it's nice to have some varying sizes out there. This is another larger REI one to fit whatever your needs are. So those are the packing cubes. Now we're going to cover how I particularly fold some of these. This may or may not work ideal for you and your needs. It's just an idea, something that you can do. So for T-shirts here, you just lay these on the floor, coffee table, whatever you have. I like to try and get them relatively smooth on the front end portion because I am not a big fan of wrinkles with traveling, or in general, I should say. So once you have this thing generally laid out, I will fold this over until we get to a crease about at the end of your collar here. And then I just fold the sleeve right back over on itself, just to the edge. Nothing crazy. And then I do the exact same on the opposite end here. Straighten up as much as you desire. Throw that sleeve back in. And then I fold it in half once. And this now allows you to be able to actually grab it and do a nice tight roll here on it. And while doing this, I'm pulling with my thumbs towards the outside, as well as doing this from the inside to basically keep it free of all wrinkles. So this thing goes in nice and tight, rolled up. So when you unfold it, that front piece is all nice and clear of wrinkles. You will have some on the outside, but nothing like if you were to just actually do a normal fold and then throw this in and it gets crammed up in your luggage and such. Kind of gets out of control. So for those that wear boxer briefs, I just fold these things directly in half. Once again, you can kind of straighten them up a little bit as best as you can. I mean, they're kind of inherently wrinkly. I bring them up on themselves. And then, this is all preference, but I prefer to roll most of my items from the collared item down when it comes to lower garments, jeans, shorts, underwear, etc. And that is that. So at this point here, I haven't used any of the compression capability in this particular REI bag here. I have 5 pairs of underwear in here. And for socks, I personally don't like to stretch them over each other and like stuff them into the bands, because I feel it kind of stretches them out. So I will actually just lay these in here on top and then do the opposite side here. This is also 5 pairs of socks. And if I were to truly have trouble zipping this up, this comes right back to what I was telling you before, where you can actually expand this out a little bit. You can open this thing up a little bit and let it populate in that way, and then zip this down. And now you're able to actually zip this down. This is not a great example because I don't really have this thing like overloaded, but some situations maybe you have 2 to 4 more pairs of socks in there. You can actually like really crunch this thing down and zip that up and really compress this down into something nice. So now I have a handle and everything. All my undergarments are covered. Super simple. For shorts, I personally like to button and zip everything up. Khakis are inherently pretty rough for keeping wrinkles out and everything, so this is kind of a best case scenario. Work with what you can. And guys' clothing in particular always has these goofy little flaps at the end. I just tuck these in and then bring this on itself. Try and work out some of the wrinkles that you can. And then, like I said before, I just start from the top here and work my way down, and I just keep removing the wrinkles as I go. Okay. As you're doing this, as you fold these up, you might fold a little differently depending on what your compression cube situation is, depending on what size you have and everything. I mean, maybe you have one that's long enough for that. Maybe you don't. Maybe you need to actually fold this over again and actually have it more into a much smaller length. So work with what you can. This, like I said, is just a method that I have kind of worked with for my own, and it works really well for me. Jeans, same thing, zip, button, and then I always have that stuff on the inside, so we fold this thing together. Once again, we have this goofy little flap, which we're just going to roll in, bring the legs up. I have had some situations where I've had to actually do thirds to get a certain compression down to fit into certain bags and everything. Once again, work with what your particular bag situation is so that this can provide the most optimum packing for yourself. And that's my jeans rolled up. So, example here, I now have 4 shirts, a pair of jeans in here. This thing's done. Contains all my top end stuff that I need. It's ready to pack. For a button-up shirt, I also button everything up on that. Goes face down. So there's a situation of do your best to kind of feel through and make sure that you don't have any crazy wrinkles or anything going on the underside. If you do, you can stretch those out early. And then we're going to bring the collar, the sides into the collar, just like with the original ones. You can see the sleeve situation here. I just do like so. Keeps it nice and crisp, looking good. apparently doing something incorrect with this one. There we go. Okay. Bring it on itself. You could start rolling from the bottom there if you like, but I find that if you get this initial fold and everything, it keeps it a bit cleaner. Once again, I'm stretching outward as I roll this while keeping it all together. So now I have a nicely rolled button-up shirt. So if you require that for your national travel, international travel, what have you, you have your options. So this is basically a pack job that I'm performing right now for a week-long trip. This is a Farpoint 40 Osprey bag, 40 liters. It is currently at this time 100% carry-on compliant with all airlines to my knowledge. So I tend to use this. With your bags and everything, you can determine what positions your stuff can go in here. Ideally, the nice thing with these packing cubes is you can sit there and basically play Tetris with these things, however is needed. Maybe you want it on the side, maybe you want to actually throw one upward. You have choices with these. You can throw your toiletries in here as well. You can throw your compression straps on. Actually cinch everything down, you're good. So hopefully that helps out some people for how to handle their rolling clothes and preparing for using packing cubes as well as preparing for their trip. Thank you.